We're ready to restart. 7-6 to Michael Holt. Luca Bracel breaking off. Of course, he led 5-4 overnight, and he led 4-1 early yesterday. But these are long matches, the World Championship, and there's plenty of time for things to turn around, and we've seen that happen. But Holt's still got to finish the job. He needs 3, and he'll be in the last round to face Mark King at the weekend. It's been a very interesting match, not just because of the snooker, but the personalities involved. We know Michael Holt wears his heart on his sleeve. Luca Bracel is new on the scene, first season, 17 from Belgium. A lot of excitement about him. But at the moment he's playing catch-up, and that shot there was not the best either, trying to get tight to the black. We have our first winner of the day. Liang Wenbo's beaten Justin Astley 10-3, so he's going to play Marcus Campbell in the final round at the weekend. Joe Jogia leads Igor Figueiredo 7-5, and they're on the colours in the 13th. And Cao Yupeng, China, 7-6 up on Nigel Bond, which will be something of an upset were he to come through.
1.
Huh. Well, that was some pot, and not a bad kiss. Well, I think Brecel's just going to play as he has throughout the whole match. He's going to attack and see what happens. He'll be off the circuit unless he has a really good run in the World Championship at the Crucible. It's a shame. He has got the Q school. There is a chance, I suppose, of a wild card. Be a shame to lose him, because he's still learning his trade, and to lose him for a year, I think would be a pity. He is an outstanding choice for a European wildcard. Well, this is the first time he's been in front, and of course he'd love to be 2 frames in front and start to see the winning line approaching. Ooh, the red has stayed out. It wriggled, but it didn't drop. So a chance for Bracel. I think Bracel would have quite welcomed the interval when it came.
1.
Just a chance to get out there for 15 minutes and try and regroup. We've seen enough this week to know that he is a considerable prospect. He's still only 17 after all. Seems to have been around for a long time. He won the European Juniors when he was 14, the European Amateur when he was 15. So there's no doubt he can play this game, and he is still developing.
$16. 17.
Well, he's not pulled the white back far enough for the black.
Bracel, 17.
Bracel's going to have to step up things markedly, I think, to win this match now. I think Michael Holt knows that it's there for the taking. Still got to finish it off, though. He needs 3 good frames. Well, 3 frames. Whatever they're like, he'll take at the moment. It will be a very tough match against Mark King, so experienced. The Romford left-hander. We're just umming and ahhing here about what exactly to do. Well, worth a go, would have been on the black, but it's finished reasonably safe as well. One player who is supporting Michael Holt is Mark Williams. On Twitter they have it can only be described as a bromance going on. Mark Williams, of course, twice the winner of the World Championship, 2000 and 2003, got to the semis last year, lost out to John Higgins, and no one's really talking about Mark as a likely winner this year because his form hasn't been that great the last couple of months, but he's certainly not a player you could just rule out of it either. Class act Mark on his day. Trying to play the white to the top cushion, didn't quite come off, and this red I think does pot to the left centre. Brecel's been taking pretty much everything on in the match. Another very confident pot. Still going for his shots.
Six. Seven.
Getting to the stage now of the match, though, where mistakes have really got to be kept to a minimum. Brecel knows one slip up here might go 8-6. All of a sudden, he's really battling to stay in the World Championship.
13. 14. 19. 20. 26.
'Oh, a horrible miscue. A horrible miscue.
Bracel, 26.
Still nearly went in, actually, but that is, well, he's just wiping the table down. A bit of chalk imparted on the cloth. Let's hope his tip's all right, but that was unexpected, to say the least. Shake of the head from Bracel. He seemed to be going nicely there as well. They're never easy at any stage. That's a good pot from Holt, and he's in here looking to take advantage of Bracel's slip up there. They call Michael Holt the Hitman, that's his nickname.
7.
And he has young Luca Bracel in his sights now.
Eight. 13.
'No, that was
Michael Holt,
not
13.
really close, and just look where it's finished. Luca Bracel miscued on a red to this middle pocket moments ago, but he's not going to miss this one. I don't think even I would miss this one.
One. 6. 7.
He just needs the blue to leave Holt requiring a snooker, although of course Holt has won a frame this afternoon in that very situation. Well, I say that, in fact there was a problem with that scoreboard because some points just gone on Holt's score. So in fact there's 35 in it. He's going to need another red. The red, I'm not sure whether you're going to have to disturb them or whether one of the reds pots to the middle. He's trying to get into them. He's not quite done it. So this frame isn't necessarily over yet.
11.
He leads by 39. Still 43 on. Gone for the double. It was worth doing.
Bracel, 11.
Played the white sensibly to safety. So Brecel, I would say, still favourite for the frame, even though Holt can still win it mathematically. Look where he's starting out here, snookered. Well, now he can only tie it. Unless he hits the blue, he needs a snooker if he hits the blue.
Bracel, 5.
Huh. Yes, it's 5 points. It's on 62, Brecel, so in fact, it's 44 the difference. 43 on. Snooker required. And as if to rub it in, tries to put him in more trouble. Well, it's still fascinating, isn't it? Michael Holt 7-6 up at the interval, but it looks like it's going to be 7-all. Yes, it's a nice target, isn't it, for snookers, the pink and the black, but still got to get in behind them. Saw the zapper there, briefly, that Peter Williamson uses. That's not to check CFAX, if indeed CFAX is still going. It's to operate the arena scoreboard. I think they've just axed CFAX, actually. One of those things people stop using, but are still nostalgic about. CFAX used to be the only place you could find out the scores from the qualifiers. Now we're watching them live all around the world. That's progress for you. This is the exact position we were in a couple of frames back. 44 the lead to Brecel. He went in off and Holt cleared up. This time he's fluked a snooker though. Don't think when a player smiles it means they're happy. It's usually the opposite. Doesn't really want it in.
1.
Well, it makes it more difficult now, but I suppose it's better in than over. Well, if he takes the blue, it's 38 behind, still only one snooker needed, so it's not too bad, but he does need the blue.
6.
This is going to be close to being a good snooker.
Michael Holt, 6.
Well, it was a couple of frames back where, in this position, Brecel, with 2 reds on, went in off. Holt cleared up. This time he is snookered. Oh, that was close, and this could be a free ball. He's having a look. If he's snookered, it's a free ball. Yeah, well, it looks like it is.
Free ball.
Well, assuming the brown passes this red to the middle, that counts as 1. And he could do with potting it, because although mathematically he can win, he needs a black off the last red. So he needs to pot the free ball, because the black at the moment is out of commission. So the brown, of course, counts 1. Take, I guess, the brown again. Still work to do here for Holt, though, because pink and black he's going to need, and of course they're tied up. But at least he's got half a chance. This is going to hurt Brecel if he loses another one of these frames. But it was a good snooker from Holt. I think in terms of entertainment value, this match has been excellent. Plenty happening.
Five.
He's going to need them all here, so as I say, there'll be work to do later on with pink and black.
6.
25 behind if the green goes in, 27 left. Another dramatic frame, this. In what's been a very dramatic match.
9.
Well, of course, there's 27 remaining.
11.
Well, where pink and black are, if he does clear up here, it's going to be some shot from the blue.
$14.
Well, I think he's trusting to a little bit of luck. Okay, you can play the cannon to the black, but no guarantee of being on the pink.
$18.
So it could all be about this shot. If he could cannon the black out of the way, off the top cushion, come off the top cushion, cannon the black, he might be on the pink, but that's going to be a very precise shot. I think that's what he's tried. Well, he's got into them. Oh, look at that. That is unlucky.
23.
I did say you trust into luck, and he hasn't got any at all. In fact, he's snookered. Oh, dear me. Well, first and foremost, he's got to hit the pink here. Doesn't know where it's going to finish. Amazing that was. Just when you want a little bit of running, he didn't get any. Brecel bracing himself to come back to the table, but in what sort of position? Oh dear. Didn't hit it at all, so now he needs a snooker again. Oh, drama upon drama upon drama. It's going to be very hard to get a snooker here. Look where the black is. He's going to have to get right in alongside it, and that's not easy. Needs it away from the cushion. But at least he's given it a go. Well, this is a chance to kill the frame off for Luca Bracel, to take us to 7-all. Not yet. But maybe now.
Conceded.
Holt conceded. He, in the end, you got to say, was a bit unlucky. Played the cannon to the black, ended up snookered, and missed the pink out the snooker. And it's 7-all, and Luca Brecel is hanging on here by his fingertips, one has to say, but he's hanging on, and we're all square again in this gripping match. 7-all. Joe Joggia and Igor Figueiredo are involved in a right old scrap in their 13th frame. They're on the brown. Joggia 5 points in front. He leads 7-5 in the match. We know that Liang Wenbo's beaten Justin Astley 10-3, and Cao Yupeng leads Nigel Bond 7-6. One of a number of Chinese players. Cao Yupeng still going. If he wins that match, he's going to play Tom Ford for a place at the Crucible. Joggia or Figueiredo will play Marco Fu. Liang Wenbo plays Marcus Campbell, and the winner of Holt and Brecel plays Mark King. But I don't know what's going to happen next in this one. It's been a very closely fought match, and it continues to be. Tomorrow is a rest day, by the way. We're not. There's no snooker tomorrow, so we'll return on Saturday. Some interesting matches already on Saturday. Ken Doherty, Anthony Hamilton. Don't think that'll be quick somehow. Ricky Walden, Jamie Jones. And Stephen Hendry starts out in the afternoon against Yu DeLu. And on the Sunday, we've got the likes of Peter Ebden, Joe Perry, Andrew Higginson, Barry Hawkins, Jamie Cope, Fergal O'Brien. Tonight, Jimmy White returns, 5-4 down to Liu Chang, but still very much in touch. And our other match is the resumption of Alfie Burden against Jack Lazowski. It's 6-3 to Burden at the halfway stage there. This is a bona fide World Championship thriller in progress. 7-all between Michael Holt and Luca Bracel. Just waiting for Brecel, and we can get underway with frame 15. Brecel making us all wait. Another frame he could have lost after Holt got the snooker and the free ball, but we know what happened in the end. Holt didn't get on the pink. He was unlucky, really. I think unlucky, not necessarily not to get on the pink, but to snooker himself seemed a bit harsh. But these things you have to cope with, I'm afraid. 7-all, 10 required for a place in the final round of qualifying on Sunday against Peter Ebden. We continue. It's frame 15.
The 10th frame, Michael Holt to break. Sorry, 15th frame.
Well, I don't think he hit that hard enough, did he? And again, he's had a result, really. Well, Holt pointing at something there. I think the red on the right-hand side. He nearly fluked that one. But I'm sure he'd be reflecting that Brecel rather got away with his previous shot.
One.
Don't know what's happened in that 13th frame with Jogger and Figueiredo. I think someone might have hidden the cue ball because they're still going. They're on the brown. Jogger now 9 points in front, but that frame has been going a long time. It can't be far off an hour. And still it's 7-5 to Jogger. I think they both welcome the interval after that one. Now can Brecel get going again?
He's
had a bit of a taste of the big time. He was invited into the first Power Snooker. He was invited into the World Series.
15.
He's played a few big exhibitions with Stephen Hendry, amongst others, on the continent. Seems a very shy young man. I remember I got a car back with him to the hotel at the World Series, and he never said a word, although it may have been my conversation. He would be the first snooker player to blank me. Yes, he's left this awkward. He's got the spider out. But should be alright, just drop it in, be on pink or the black.
$23.
Well, he's not holding back, is he? He's taken the game to Holt right from the start.
30.
This needs good cueing, though. He's going to take this one onto the middle. Looks like Jogger's going to win that frame because Figueiredo needs a snooker on the pink, so it looks like 8-5 coming up. Meantime, this is a big shot. Tough shot where the white is. Oh, that was really well cued.
31.
Again, so confident in his own ability. It's a sign of someone who's won a lot already. A bit like Judd Trump, really. He was a very talented junior. And by the time he turned professional, Mark Allen, another player, they just feel that they can do it because they have done it already in the amateur ranks, the junior ranks. But there's nothing like the World Professional Championship to sort the men out from the boys.
36. 37. 40. 41. 48.
He's already beaten Ian McCulloch 10-2 and Barry Pinch's 10-3, but this would be his best win if he did come through today because of the manner in which he would have done it. A real
49.
close battle against Michael Holt. Luca Bracel looking good at the moment to take an 8-7 lead from 7-6 down at the interval. Holt not quite with head in hands, but with hands on chin, looking a bit pensive.
53. 54.
'Well, this has been an excellent break,
59.
bearing in mind the position of the match and the nerves and the alien environment really for Brecel in his first season on the circuit. Standing up to it really well at the moment. This match is still too close to call. He needs black and one more red. Holt will need snookers. Yes, a fine effort this from Luca Bracel.
67. 68.
He's not lying down. He's not cracking up. He's going to have to be beaten.
72. 73.
Well, the black here for the highest break of the match for Brecel. Be nice to see a century from him.
80.
Still got to contend with that awkward red on the left-hand side cushion, but this has been very impressive
51.
stuff. Could all have been different, of course, if Holt had got on the pink in that last frame. He ended up snookering himself when he went into the black and pink, but if he'd got on it, he would have been 8-6 up. But it's all ifs and buts in this game. The facts are that Brecel has made a break of 88, and he now leads by 8 frames to 7. What a thrilling contest this continues to be. That's his highest break of the match, and he made it in really cool fashion. And he's got that look about him as if to say, I know I can still win this. I'm not going to fall apart under the pressure. Still 7-5 to Joe Joggia against Eagle Figueiredo, playing on for a snooker on the pink. It's been a long old frame, that one. Liang Wenbo beat Justin Ashley 10-3. It's 7-6, Cao Yu Peng over Nigel Bond. In fact, Cao Yu Peng has won the next frame, I can tell you, so it's 8-6 now there. Well, this is a great advert for the World Championship, and indeed for snooker itself. A lot of you watching, I know, will never have seen the qualifiers before, but this is what it's like here. Good standard, Great drama.
16th
Still, we don't know who's going to win. It's
break.
8-7 to Brecel. Big frame this. He, of course, if he wins it, it goes within one of a famous victory. Well, he just made an 88 break and immediately given a chance here in frame 16 to get going again. Ah, well, that's trouble. Get out of this one, Luca.
1.
We've had players from 15 different countries play at the Crucible, 15 nations, since 1977 when the championship moved there. Never a Belgian. So he would be the first if he did come through. We've had all sorts of countries represented. Iceland, Christian Helgeson, of course Dino came from New Zealand. Some South Africans, Maltese, of course Tony Drago. Thais, a Finn, Robin Hull. Various Chinese, Marco Fu from Hong Kong. The British nations. And of course Ireland and Australia, Canada too, but never a Belgian.
Brecel 1.
Well, it has finally gone 8-5 to Jogia, and I think they both need the interval after a very long frame over on table 2. 8-6 Cao Yu Peng leads Nigel Bond in the other match. That's a great pot.
1.
It wasn't the greatest shot from Brecel, it has to be said. He was trying to get the white, I think, on the cushion, but of course he was in a lot of trouble where he was. Having made the very aggressive choice to go into the reds, it didn't work out. And Holt is now in. Well, we've seen a bit of head shaking and the odd rap of the knuckles, but overall I think Holt has been very disciplined, and I think that's a result of the season he's had. He's had a good season, won the 10th PTC event here in Sheffield last November. He's been qualifying for various tournaments, and his discipline now is going to be key to whether he wins this match or not. It's all about nerve at this point. I know he feels he's had a bit of bad running here and there, but he's been around long enough to know you will do.
10. 11. $16. $17.
He just run a little further than intended for the blue. He played it to the middle. Gonna have to take it to the corner. You saw there, then that close-up, just the intensity on his face. Well, he can't make his mind up here. It looks like he has decided on the green after all.
$20.
Well, obviously didn't want to land on that red, but he's all right. Or is he? Well, maybe not. He's shaking his head now. Just made it more awkward than he wanted it to be. Still see most of the cue ball, though. Well, it was just, as I say, a little more awkward than he would have liked, and he has eventually broken down. Well, Brecel hasn't, all afternoon, hasn't stopped going for his shots. No reason to now either. He does, when he's playing well, like a lot of the sort of natural players, he does make the game look very easy, which of course we know it isn't.
$7.
He's never been in this position before in the World Championship, involved in a really close match. So it's all new to him. At the moment, he's standing up to it really well.
$14. $15. $21. $22.
I think the red top left of the four does go to the left corner, but well, in fact he's cannoned that one to be on the one to the right corner. That's fair enough, except the pink's in the way. Yes, the pink spot was cleared there, so it's not gone back on the black spot.
Bracel.
He was left a more difficult red to the middle, and he's missed it. Well, we've had some close frames today, and at the moment this is another one. That's a cracking pot with the rest.
1.
Trying to get into them.
Three.
Well, a little rap on the table. Not a very hard rap, it's got to be said, although remember, he did once break his knuckles in a match doing that and was taken to hospital, so he knows that there's only usually one winner if you go hard with the knuckles.
Michael Holt, 3.
Some players have to release emotion, they just can't help themselves. Others, Marco Fu would be a good example of a player who never seems to show any at all, and of course what that means is his opponents don't know what he's thinking. Well, that red was on, it still needed potting. Now where's the yellow? He's okay.
1.
But this is where it starts to get difficult.
Six.
Well, not a long angle to get out here with the white.
Seven.
Just dropping it in, leaving the green to the middle. Yes, he's decided to roll up because there wasn't a red on. Didn't really get tight to the green though, did he? Well, I think the middle of the three goes to the right, to the left corner. In fact, I'm sure it does.
1.
He will still need the one by the pink. By the way, he wrapped his knuckles on the table there. I assume he played the cannon to the pink to free it.
Seven.
He's going to have to try again, but, well, he's not got the right angle on the blue. Doesn't have to play a pot here, of course. Could lay the snooker. Or indeed could lay the snooker from the last red. And if he got right on this, he'd be a certain snooker behind the pink.
Well,
if it had come the other side, as I say, would have been a certain roll up behind the pink.
Bracel, 12.
He leads by 25 on the last red. Well, they're having a little whisper about something. Holt swerving round the yellow. No idea where this red's going to finish, of course. Well, I think you can see that. Well, they're both having a look. We'll soon find out. It's obviously tight. Well, the little shake of the head, I think, tells you can't quite see it to pot it. What a difference it makes. 25 in front, he only needs red and a colour. Well, he could see it to pot it. But he didn't pot it. May have been just a bit aside on the white there, just to try and kick the red in. Well, Holt's shaking his head, but it'd been a lot worse if the red had gone in. This frame, I think, has kind of summed up the match. Closely fought, full of incident, and still we don't know who's going to come through. Big frame though, 9, 7 or 8 each in a best of 19. Oh well, that's just caught the yellow, and it's tough of course where the white is, but he's walking away as if it's over the hole. Brecel seems to become more expressive as the match went on. There wasn't much emotion yesterday when he was 4-1 up, but today there's been all sorts of reactions. But again, he's left this really awkward, queuing over the green. And as I say, it's not as if the red is hanging in the jaws. Yes, and it's pretty straight as well, isn't it? Wasn't easy. Well, not friendly. Looks like it is a snooker. Holt's having a good look. Pete Williamson having a good look in case he has to put the white back. Holt having another look. It's obviously tight again, this. Might just be able to hit this. Well, he thinks he can. Nearly potted it. At least it's gone safe. Well, it's another tough one if he's going to take it on. But they haven't refused much between the two of them in this match. Well, this is welcome to professional snooker for Luca Bracel. This is what the World Championship is like. Hard fought, lots of pressure, and lots of excitement as well. Well, he went for the double, played the white to safety, but the reds come back down the table. Now that never looked in. Again, it wasn't a dead straightforward pot, but it's one I think Holt would have expected to get. But anything's missable at this stage. Pops it off the cushion.
One.
So he leads by 26. He needs any colour here. Pink to the middle will do. And it'll be snookers required. And it'll be Luca Bracel. Just one frame from victory. Well, it's impressive. It's not been big breaks in every frame, but what's impressive is the way that this 17-year-old has handled the pressure.
9.
He's really into the match. He's competing well. We've seen a few little reactions from him, little displays of emotion. He believes he can win, and he's only one frame now, it would seem, from doing that. 3 snookers needed.
Bracel, 9.
Holt's going to play on, but Bracel favourite for 9-7. Well, I think he can just clip the edge of the green. Well, in fact, a little bit of swerve on the cue ball, got it 4 ball. 34 in it with 25 on, so it's 3 snookers. If Holt were to pot green and brown, it would be 2 snookers on the blue. Although the black is not in a particularly favourable place for snookers on that cushion. Well, the speed he hit that, I wonder if he was trying to bring the black out. We've had a couple of frames where Holt has got snookers in this match. Well, in fact, one, he needed a snooker and Bracel went in off, but the previous frame he got... Well, the one before the previous frame, the 14th frame, he got snooker. Well, he played the pot there. He's actually got the snooker, but easy to hit. Oh, that was very close to being in behind the blue. But this is potable, and he'll certainly go for it. Well, he doesn't want to push the blue close to the cushion like that. It's harder to get in behind. If you get wedged up next to the blue, it'd be tough. Well, he somehow got a snooker there, it would seem, but again, off the side cushion, should be no problem. Well, in fact, he could see it. You could do with this blue out, really. This is it's good to see Holt playing on like this, but it's a tough ask, I think. Well, it's just got tougher. Well, there is a sign of clear frustration. Leathers the brown. And he wants out of there for a couple of minutes, I think. And when he comes back, he's going to have to win the last 3 frames. Luca Bracel has had a little bit of running this afternoon, but he's also stood up to this really well. It's all new to him. And he now is 1 frame from victory. He leads 9-7. What a win this would be. Well, we've already had one result. Today, Liang Wenbo beat Justin Ashley 10-3. Joe Jogger 8-5 up against Igor Figueiredo. And another close one going on. Cao Yupeng 8-6 up on Nigel Bond. There are the scores, just to confirm that for you. They're in on the green in that next frame. Cao Yupeng and Nigel Bond, not much in it, so... Big frame there, 9-6 or 8-7. Well, Michael Holt, as I say, has just left the arena, and when he comes back, he knows he's got to win the last 3 to stay in this match. What a battle it is. Question on Twitter from Snooker Backer. Has an Eskimo ever qualified for the Crucible? Well, not to my knowledge. Probably a bit warm, I would have thought, in the arena for an Eskimo. But you do need, of course, an ice-cool temperament. BBC are reporting that Jimmy White's out of the World Championship, that he's lost to Liu Chang. Of course he hasn't. It's best of 19, not best of 9. So if you've seen that report, of course it's nonsense. Good to see they're on the ball. Yeah, Jimmy comes back tonight. He's 5-4 down to Liu Chang, so we'll have that one for you on the streaming this evening. Alongside Alfie Burden against Jack Lazowski, it's 6-3 to Burden. Right here, it's 9-7 to Luca Bracel. Michael Holt is up against it. I must admit, when he went 7-6 up at the interval, it looked like he'd got the measure of Bracel, but maybe the interval was a key factor here, because it just halted his momentum, gave Bracel a chance to cool down a bit, and I think the Belgian has been very impressive since. So Holt up against it. We did see a little bit of frustration at the end there, but you're going to see that here. We've seen a far worse, I can assure you, at the qualifiers than that. Well, can Bracel do it? One more frame needed to play Mark King, and if he wins that, he'll be the youngest person ever to play at the Crucible. He's saved his best till last this season. He's not had a great debut season. It's been tough, of course. It's been a learning curve for him. But it's waited till the big one to really start firing. There's Pete Williamson. Firm pair of gloves out in the middle. Long days for the referees as well, particularly, I don't know who it was who refereed the Hamilton-McGill match last night, but I bet they slept well. Right, we're at the wire here. This is frame 17. It's 9-7 to Brecel. He needs one. Holt needs all three. Well, that's not a good break-off shot. He needs some cover here. And I don't... Well, has he got it? Can he see that red? Well, it would appear not. Well, there's the difference. I mean, Holt could have left that on easily. In the end, Brecel's caught the brown and he's left it on.
What?
Well, he knows that one mistake, it could be the end, so a lot of pressure on Holt. But I think his general attitude has been good, and I'm sure he still believes he can win. This needs to slow down.
4.
Well, his mood won't be improved, I don't think, by that one. This does still cut. It is a thin one.
5.
Oh dear, dear. Well, miscue. Jumped over the brown, off the table. Oh, horrible.
Michael Holt 5. Luca Brecel 4.
Well, he's banging his cue, but he's... I think that was to say good shot, although it wasn't a great shot. I think he's still talking about himself. I think it's fair to say he wears his heart on his sleeve, and that he's particularly going to see that at this stage. But remember, this is these guys' livelihoods, and this is the World Championship. As Brecel finds one there, another terrific pot. Didn't quite get on colour as intended. And they're still taking this yellow on though. Caught the brown. Wasn't on the right side of the yellow. Still fancied knocking it in and getting on the reds. Clearly he's still very confident. He's not twitching up as the winning line approaches. Far from it. He's going to go for it.
Luca Brecel 3. I'm
being asked, Adam Tucker on Twitter asking me about when Holt broke his knuckles. What happened? Well, My memory of that was it was towards the end of the match. I think the match wasn't over, but he didn't have many more shots, couldn't play, and was taken to hospital at the end. Now then, he's not broken any knuckles today. He might break Luca Bracel's heart though if he comes back from 9-7 down, and he's got a chance here. Still Brecel not backing away from anything.
One.
It was against Robert Milkins, I think, in the B&H qualifying, the old qualifying event for the Masters, where that incident happened. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more. You see a lot of players wrapping their knuckles. It's almost a sort of way of sort of punishing yourself, because it's going to hurt. Won't hurt the table as much as it hurts you.
Six.
The way Brecel plays, it's a bit like Judd Trump. Tends to get them open, whether they go in or not, and so when his opponent comes to the table, there is a chance to put a few together, and that's the situation Michael Holt's in here.
7.
His career. Once got past the first round. In fact, he beat Paul Hunter in what was a very difficult match for him, because it was the first match that Paul played after announcing that he had cancer. Holt then lost to Steve Davis in the second round. That was 2005.
14.
But this is a definite chance now, and it's clear that although he showed a bit of emotion at the end of that last frame, he still very much believes he can win. Well, he certainly didn't play on the red to the middle. But that's the one he's taking on.
$22. 28. $29. 35. Sorry, 36. Sorry. 37. $43.
Well, he's edging closer, isn't he? He's 42 in front. Still a few open reds to go at.
.44.
Well, he's really, forgive the pun, bearing in mind what we were saying earlier, knuckling down here.
.52.
It's the end of the season, the World Championship. Whether you're at the Crucible or whether you bow out at the qualifiers, and wherever you are in Sheffield, you want to go as far as you can and do yourself justice. He's had a good season, really, Holt. Looks like he could rejoin the top 32.
He's 7.
And he wants to keep it going all the way to the Crucible.
58.
So snooker's required. And it's looking like 9-8. And wouldn't we all love a decider?
.63. .64. .70. .71.
Well, it's playing like a dream now, but of course this frame well and truly won. It's been a good break, this.
78.
And it's just a little reminder to Luca Bracel that it's not over yet. Well, we could well see our first century of the match here.
85.
What a time to make it.
87. .90. .94.
Well, his back was against the wall, but he came out fighting in this frame.
99.
And this is the highest break of the match. A century from Michael Holt. You can hear the applause. A very good break, that. That will do him the world of good. He still has to win the last two, but what a great start that was.
5 in the frame. Michael
105
Holt.
from Michael Holt. He's still in this. He trails now 9-8. And Luca Bracel still needs one frame for victory. Well, that will certainly have cheered him up a bit, I think. But he does have that really determined look about him. He's had it the whole match. Even when he was 4-1 down, he didn't let his head drop yesterday. And, of course, can't afford to let that happen again here. 105 the break. 9-8 now. This one still so close. Meanwhile, we've already had one result. Liang Wenbo beat Justin Ashley 10-3. Joe Jogil leads Igor Figueiredo 9-5. And Cao Yupeng leads Nigel Bond 9-6. So, of course, already Yu Delu has already got to the last round. Liang Wenbo and another Chinese player there, Cao Yupeng, on the cusp. Lu Chang, another Chinese professional, 5-4 up on Jimmy White. Yao Gudong lost in this round yesterday, 10-4 to Robert Milkins, the maximum man, made the 147, of course, Milkins.
18th frame, Luca Bracel to break.
So Brecel is still one away from victory. It's 9-8 to him. Well, I hope you're enjoying this match. I know it's more difficult if you're certainly a family member of either of these two, or indeed a friend or a fan even. It can be agony, but to the neutral, it's an entertaining match. And with all due respect to Luca Brecel, it'd be nice if it did go to a decider. Well, he's talking away to himself there. Terrific break it was in that last frame, particularly after the way the previous frame ended, when he showed that little bit of frustration. But he got that out of his system, and he made a good break, 105. Problem is the red in the middle of the table. Obviously wants to cover it. We spent a long time looking at that.
Touching ball.
They ended up touching ball, but no real damage done. Brecel still with the problem with that red in the middle of the table. Can just... well, you've got to make sure he gets the cover here. And he looks like he has done. Oh dear, this red is on, I think. Well, maybe not quite. Not the red in the middle of the table I've been talking about. But there is one. The pot's to the right corner. The only problem is it's awkward queuing, because he's hampered by the other red. Well, he's taken a different one on, and he's potted it superbly using the rest. He does knock him in, doesn't he, Brecel?
Bracel, 1.
Well, he's obviously looking to get tight to the yellow. That didn't quite happen. My word, that was thin, but he's knocked it in.
1.
Barely even hit that. And again, it's a sign that Brecel is not changing his game at all. He's gone for his shots right from frame 1. He's still doing it. Needs this to slow up a bit.
6.
Or cannon the red. Well, this is his chance to win the match. Simple as that. But of course, it's not simple. That's the point. It's a bit different getting a chance at 9-8 than it is when you're 9-2 or 9-3 up, as he was in his previous matches against first Ian McCulloch and then, of course, Barry Pinches. He's not quite on the pink as intended, needs the rest. He's going to need his extension as well here. But so far, he's been very impressive in the match. He hasn't been throwing his cue at them and twitching up. Looked very assured, Brecel. Well, he's just lost prime position, hasn't he? There, he's wrong side of the blue. Still on this red, though, to the left corner. Oh dear, well, he's having a few little nudges here and there and riding his luck a little bit there. But the adrenaline, you've got to think, is going to be pumping through him. Luca Bracel trying to clinch a place in the final round of qualifying in his first World Championship as a professional. It would be incredible if he qualified, I think, because he's done very little this season to suggest he was going to. He'd be the youngest person ever to play at the Crucible if he comes through. It would be great for the game, but of course not so much for either Holt or indeed Mark King, who he would play in the last round. Well, again, a bit of adrenaline there. He's got right into that one.
29.
Play for the pink. Not on it. Well, does he take the green on, or does he play safe? He plays safe.
29.
Wisely, I think. And he's put the green safe-ish on the cushion, he's put the white on the back cushion, so he's keeping the pressure on Michael Holt. This looks a pretty good shot in return, though, from where he was. That's excellent. 30-0 to Brecel. but this frame's still anyone's.
Done.
We've just seen if either of these reds do indeed pot. I think the bottom of the two will pot to this left corner. Well, the top one might as well, in fact it does.
8.
Well, Brecel, as I say, had his chance for 10-8. This is Holt's chance for 9-9. Brecel did push the green towards the cushion though, pushed it safe as a bit of security, so it'll be interesting to see if that plays a part later on.
$14. 15. 21. 22.
'Well, he's 2 behind. If he takes 4 reds, 4 pinks, he'll be 26 ahead on the yellow. Yellow 28 ahead. Won't need the green. Obviously a black as well would help, but that's the maths of the situation.
29.
Well, he's giving every shot, absolutely everything. He's taking his time, that's understandable. Such an important moment in his season, in this match. The right-hand red, I think, will pop to the right corner, and of course then it frees the other one.
$35.
No. And it's now a question of luck as to where they finish, and he's not had any. So another chance for Brecel to win it.
One.
Brecel goes in front on 2 points.
7.
He will now need the green, looking further ahead in the frame. Of course, he was the player that put it safe, but wasn't to know how things would pan out.
8.
Well, it looked like he tried to move it there. Now then, got a certain snooker coming up here.
Bracel. 8.
He's got Holt in trouble here. And of course the big difference in this frame is that if Brecel loses it, at least there's another frame. If Holt loses it, it's the end of the match. That's excellent. Couldn't have known he'd get a snooker back, but an excellent hit.
Foul and miss.
Well, what was that? No good is the answer.
Michael Holt 4.
Just seemed to completely miss-hit that. Well, he's having it put back. Yes, the points have gone on. That's right, we're just correcting that. Holt's 1 point in front. There's obviously just room past the black to get to the red. Oh, well, he played the same shot. This time he's at the black.
Michael Holt 7.
Well, all welcome these points for Holt.
Yeah. Yeah. Sort of like that.
Well, it's obviously very important they get this back in the right place at such a vital stage of the match.
You went 3 in a straight line. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's important as well that Brecel doesn't just accept this. He's got to be certain that he feels it's right as well.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got to... If he thinks it's wrong, he's got to say so. And a couple of millimetres makes a difference in a shot like this. Well, Holt's having another look.
Yeah.
There's no chance to have the TV replay on, so they've just got to sort it out amongst themselves.
Okay. Yeah, that's more the way it was.
Got to say, that doesn't look quite right to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, whether it is or it isn't, that's where he's going to play it from, it would seem. But is he going to play it the same way? He's had two pretty, let's be honest, poor attempts at the shot. Well, this is attempt number 3.
Found a miss.
Well, I don't think he's going to get any joy playing it that way. You don't really like to see this. The miss rule wasn't intended for this sort of situation. He's doing his best to hit it, of course, but it's a tough snooker. There's not a lot of space behind the black to get past it for the red.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think the white was further away from the black, personally. I don't think it was that close to the black. And I'll repeat what I said, if Brecel thinks that, he's really got to say so. Can't be talked into this.
Okay. Okay. No?
Bit of a shame that this is happening, really. Well, he's not, you can see, he doesn't look happy. Well, he's suddenly got a ball out of the pocket. He's been told he can't, not allowed to do that. Certainly not allowed to do that. He's checking to see if there's room behind the black to come through. But that's, I'm afraid you just can't do that, Luca.
It's not there. Right.
Yeah, you really can't do that. But he's been told by the referee. Well, again, they're having a conference, but it's going to be very hard to hit this the way he's playing it.
Oh, no. Yeah. I think that's... Yeah. Yeah.
I think it might be time to look for another route. It's horrible, really, this shot, however he plays it. He's not bound to keep being called a miss, though. It is a tough snooker. He's going a different way this time. Well, he's going 100 miles an hour. This could be a free ball.
Found the miss. Michael Holt for a free ball.
Well, it is a free ball. Well, I think it's understandable that that's a miss, the speed he went at it. Holt not interested in the free ball, he's happy to take the points here. This is closer, but again, it's not made contact.
Michael for a free ball.
It's going to be a free ball as well. He can't see the left hand, as we look at it, the left-hand side of the red from over on that side of the table. He's going to have to hit this, and the points are stacking up now. He's 23 behind all of a sudden. He was ahead when this started. Oh dear, well, at least the blue didn't clatter into them there. That would have made it even more difficult for everybody.
5 free ball.
I guess he's not taking the free ball because he can't really get on the red without disturbing them, so he's just happy to keep taking the points.
yours.
Well, now we're having a debate about where the blue is.
Sorry? Hmm?
It's not as important as the red and the black, certainly, but
No.
obviously they want to get it back right.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a very dramatic match, and it seems the most dramatic part of it is in this particular exchange. Luca Bracel was ahead, 38-35 when it began. Michael Holt has picked up 30 points in penalties. In fact, 31, because he's on 66. He hit the blue there, so we put 4 on, but it's actually 5, so it gets even worse, however you look at it. This is a tough snooker to get out of, though, you've got to say. He's hit the green now. I mean, he's not a lot left he hasn't hit.
Michael Holt, free ball.
Now, this time the free ball is interesting because he's 31 ahead with 35 on. Well, he's having them put back, but if he'd have taken the green and a pink there, Bracel would have needed a snooker. He would have been 38 ahead. But he might need one in a minute anyway. Oh dear, this is an absolute nightmare for Bracel. And how's he going to be feeling if it goes 9 each, coming out to play a decider? He's only 17, remember. Well, he's got to hit it this time. Otherwise, he's 35 behind with 35 on. That's assuming he doesn't hit a high-value colour. Well, this is a new way. It could be on target. What a great effort. What a great effort. Oh, well done. Well done. And now he's thinking, if I'd have thought of that the first time. Cao Yu Peng has beaten Nigel Bond 10-7. That's a bit of a shock, I guess. Another established player struggling here. Nigel Bond, former runner-up 1995 to Stephen Hendry. So Cao Yu Peng is through to play Tom Ford. Meantime, it's another snooker, this time expertly laid by Michael Holt. Can he just get the edge of the red? Well, he could, but he's not hit it. Free ball. Surely it's 9 each now. Well, I know one thing for sure. If Luca Bracel loses the match, this is the part of the match he's going to remember and have nightmares about. I do think it was a tough snooker to get out of. His first few attempts seemed a little unrealistic. And by the time he eventually hit it, well, he had to hit it. But this is a free ball. So this counts 1, and that... well, our scoreboard is still wrong. He's on 74. I apologise for that. He's on 74. There we are. Well, he's not potted the brown. He knew, of course, he'd get the snooker, but he obviously wanted to pot the brown, so Bracel needs a snooker here. But you never know. Well, this is a snooker, unless the white's in. Behind the brown? Oof. It's all happening, isn't it? It's not quite a snooker, as it turned out. Just get the feeling still a couple of twists left in this frame. If Bracel wins the frame after all this with a snooker, then you wonder if his name's on the trophy.
One.
Well, I think the debate will go on about the snooker he was in and whether it should have been called a miss or not, but I'll leave that to maybe some of the other referees. It is different, I think, when there's only one red on, as there was then. If there'd have been 3 or 4, it would have been automatic every time, but the referees are there to apply the rules. That's what Pete Williamson has done.
8.
Now, he needs a snooker here. In fact, he needs 2, because he took a blue there. He's still battling away, despite that little nightmare period. And of course, if Holt loses now this this frame, then I dread to think where his cue's going to end up. Yes, he knows it's not over yet. It's been that sort of match. 2 snookers. It's not actually that much in the context of the match we've seen. We've had a couple of frames like this. So 30 ahead, Green 27, Brown 23, 1 snooker to tie it. It's not great on the Brown. Well, what a dramatic match, and we might still have another frame yet.
3. Luca Bracel, 3.
Well, it'd be a surprise if Holt missed this one. It's another snooker. Well, on the arena scoreboard, there's 28 in it. Well, there's 25 in it, in fact. Sorry, there's been a bit of confusion with the scores here. He needs 1 snooker. That was a snooker, but he got out of it. Just to reiterate, Brecel's on 49, there we are, and that is another snooker. Well, I tell you what, this is a great effort. Well, he's holding his hand up. Clearly he didn't play it, but I think after everything that's gone on, I was going to say no one will begrudge him. I think probably Holt will begrudge him. But, well, he's got to sort himself out here, Holt, because he knows if he doesn't hit this and leaves it on, it could be the end of the match, and this would be a horrible way to finish, particularly after what we've just seen, when it looked a certainty to go 9 each. Oh, pressure. There's nothing really safe, is there? Well, still hasn't got over it. It was lucky, but you just got to deal with it, I'm afraid. Try and put it out of your mind and just concentrate on the shot, hitting the Brown. Has he hit it? No, he hasn't. Where's the white? Well, at least it's coming away, but it's a chance. Could do this on the cushion, Holt. What a frame of snooker this is. Unbelievable. So he can win by 1 point, Brecel. No. It was a chance. It wasn't easy. And he's left it on. It looks like 9-all after all of that.
Four.
25 ahead then on the blue. So 2 snookers needed now, and just knock the blue in and get on with the decider. Who knows what the decider has in store for us after this frame. Well, he hasn't potted it. I'm sure Brecel will try for a couple of snookers on the blue. Well, if you've never been to the qualifiers before, you would never have seen this sort of pressure that the qualifiers produces. Seen it, of course, at the Crucible and various venues, but there is something about the qualifiers where you get matches like this where all sorts of things happen, and that is a snooker. Should be okay swerving around the black. So it's great that we're now, at long last, able to watch it on this new streaming service, liveworldsnooker.tv. Well, you'd think it would be not 9-all shortly, but in this sort of match, the way it's been, who knows? Oh, that was so close to coming past the pink and being a snooker. He seems to know his way around a snooker, does Brecel. And if Holt had just knocked that blue in, we'd be starting the decider now. This could be in now. Well, he'll take that, I'm sure. So it's going to be 9-all. A very, very dramatic frame. And the good news, if you're enjoying this one, is we've got one more to come.
11 frame.
Well, what a dramatic frame that was. Michael Holt has finally won it. He's won the last two, in fact, and he's now 9-all. And the decider, well, it's coming up shortly, and it really is, I think, a toss of a coin. They're both feeling it clearly, as you would do. It's the World Championship. They played for 18 frames and they've got one more to come. These are the other scores. 9-6 is actually just gone 9-7. Igor Figueiredo's hanging in there. 10-3, Liang Wenbo beat Justin Astley. And Cao Yupeng has beaten Nigel Bond 10-7. Well, it's hardly surprising that the two players have stepped out of the arena before the decider. It was, I think, an unfortunate incident in that last frame. It seemed to me that the balls weren't put back properly. That was the original problem. But a great escape in the end from Brecel. I know he lost the frame eventually, but at least he didn't lose it specifically on the misrule. He was wrong to get that ball out the pocket and check if there was room behind the black, but it did seem originally there was. Anyway, he's going to have to forget about that now and get on with the decider, which is going to start when he returns. Well, Phil Yates tells me this is the 8th match in the qualifiers this year to go to a decider. Luca Bracel making us wait for surely the biggest frame of his career. It's only his first season on the tour. He'd be a great addition to the Crucible lineup, that's for sure. But Michael Holt doesn't care about any of that.
Final frame.
Well, there's the handshake before it all starts. This is the last frame of this match. It's been an absorbing counter right from the very start yesterday afternoon. Whoever wins this one is through to play Mark King at the weekend. Oh, what a start from Brecel. What a red from Brecel. Well, you wouldn't think from the way he potted that he'd just been through the emotional mill of that last frame with the snooker. Just knocked that in as if he was starting out. But I have to say, the sort of match it's been, I think it's unlikely to be won in one visit. I may be proved wrong here, but it's not been that sort of game, really.
5. $12.
Well, again, that's the way he's played all through the match. He's not got on the black, but he didn't hold back, trying to get them open.
13.
I think there's no doubt from what we've seen, whatever happens in the decider, that Brecel is the real deal. He's a great talent. He seems to have a lot of self-belief and the ability to tough it out. But, of course, none of that means he's going to win this decider.
Luca Bracel. 13.
Well, that's a mistake for sure. And it's noticeable Brecel just is continuing to play what is clearly his natural game. He's, like so many young players, likes to go for them. But the most impressive thing, I think, is the way he's kept himself together. And he's already, for me, played the shot of the match, that escape in the last frame. Can he win the match? Well, he's not potted that.
1.
Well, it doesn't get any easier, does it? But I did say right at the start, I didn't think this frame was going to be won with one big break. I think it's going to be another closely fought affair. He's come pretty much dead straight on the blue.
Crucible.
And just a little tickle here. Trying the old Chinese snooker. He's not played it at all well. A little thick. Well, that wasn't even in the same postcode as the pocket, but you can forgive anything right now. The pressure and the tension must be unbearable for the players. Anything is missable.
One.
Well, is that red in the way? Obviously not. Another chance then for Brecel. Bit awkward though. Well, look where the black and the pink are.
3.
And indeed the blue for that matter. Black seems to be covered with reds.
4.
Pink doesn't seem to pot. It will pot to the right centre. That's about it. Blue's on the baulk cushion. Now, does he have the angle here to play the little cannon to the red by the black and thus free it to the same pocket? No, didn't attempt that.
7.
Well, he got into that one a bit lively. But I guess there's a lot of adrenaline flowing. Well, that might have worked out okay. If he's on this red to the right corner, the black will pot to the left corner. Now, not on it, it would seem.
11.
Again, he needs this to slow down a bit. Well, this is a real tightrope walk, isn't it, for Luca Bracel? As the whole match has been, really. Not tempted by the pot, or if he was tempted, he resisted. He leads by 23 points in this deciding frame. If you're just joining us, it's been an absolute thriller. All sorts of things going on out there. And we've ended up with Michael Holt winning the last 2 frames to force this decider. 9-all. It's all on this frame now, and this is not a very promising position. Snookered, open reds as well.
A miss, Luca Bracel, 4.
It's going to go back, I think. This is slightly easier to sort out than the the snooker in the last frame, which certainly if Holt wins will be a key moment.
Try and clip it. You have 2 rails. You just snooker it.
Yeah.
It's further that way.
But you play from the ground across, I think. Yeah. Yeah, you play from almost a touch of the ball.
Yeah, but then you just
So,
snooker it. That way. That to play it too. That way. Yeah.
Well, it's not usually a time for levity when you snookered in a decider, but Holt finding a bit of humour in the situation. It's a good shot. There was all sorts of danger there, but he's not left anything on. Joe Jogger's not far away from winning his match. His snooker's needed 9-7 up on Igor Figueiredo, so 10-7 not far away there, it would seem. I think whatever happens here, you have to admire Brecel for the way he's stood up to the pressure. It's a great shame that he's going to be relegated from the tour, but he does have a chance to come back through the Q School. And if there are any wild cards knocking about, then you've got to be one of the leading candidates.
Oh.
Well, it depends where the red finishes as to whether the in-off could end up being an advantage. It's coming back, and it's coming back, and it's coming back. Oh, well, it stopped, much to his relief and much to Michael Holt's annoyance. That's the kind of match it's been. There's been all sorts of things going on like that. If that had rolled a bit further, it would have been hanging in the jaws. I think if you wanted to show someone what the World Qualifiers were like, you'd just show them this match. There's been some good quality snooker. There's been a lot of good pots, a lot of drama too, a lot of snookers laid, a lot of cue banging, head scratching, knuckle rapping. He's had everything, and most importantly, of course, he's got a decider in progress. Brecel has knocked all sorts of balls in today from distance, and he's never once looked like backing off. Tried to pop that one off the cushion. Oh, he's fluked one. Unbelievable. He's fluked one in the middle. That is incredible. That could have been end of match. Look where he left Holt there. If that red hadn't have gone in. Incredible. Well, I told you I had everything, didn't I? It was a very ambitious shot he played. He might get the reward.
Yellow ball.
Well, he's nominated yellow. Deciding to close the shot. But the point is, well, he tried to get the snooker behind the brown, didn't quite do it, but the point is, if that fluke hadn't come off, it could have been the end. Who knows? We'll never know now. Holt relieved just to come back to the table. This is thin. The ball's coming back towards the Reds. Oh, not sure I can take much more of this. It's probably a good job it's the decider. Well, this is one of those. He's kind of stretching. He needs the extension. Listen, anything can happen now. Needs the rest, in fact, for this one. This is tough at any stage, but certainly at 9-all. Yes, it was not easy. This is much easier. Well, I think it's the wrong time to start shaking your head. All right, the red's coming into contact with the pink there, but the point is that red could have gone in, and Brecel could have cleared up.
One.
Well, this could have been a lot easier. He just slightly overdid that. And you want everything easy, if indeed anything can be in a decider. The longer he spends thinking about this, the more likely he is to miss it. Doesn't want to play it.
Green ball.
Nominated the green. You can understand it.
Michael Holt 1.
Played that one well. So Brecel is 23 points in front. Is this to go past the yellow? Not bad. Well, it seemed he was always going to go into the black there, which meant he had to get the red, and he didn't get the red, and it's another chance for Brecel. Michael Holt back in his seat, shaking his head.
One.
Well, now then, what a moment for Luca Bracel. He's never known pressure like this before. This is his chance to win the match, and what a match it's been. But how do you keep the adrenaline at bay, particularly when you're not used to this?
8.
And he's not got far to go. He's 32 in front.
Nine.
Well, he certainly didn't play for this green, but he'll gladly pot it. He leads. Holt's actually got 6 points, not 5, so that's
12.
It's 42-6, so he's 36 in front with 51 on. He needs this black if he gets on it.
13.
Doesn't want to be on the cushion. Oh. Well, it's been that sort of match. Nothing's come easy. What a pot that is. What a pot under pressure. And that could well be the winning shot.
20.
Yes, this caption's wrong, and it's a crucial time. It's 43 the difference, not 44, so he needs this red. He's potted it. It looks like Luca Brecel's done it. He's been through a real roller coaster ride this afternoon. He led 4-1 yesterday, led 5-4 coming back today. A lot of people thought Michael Holt would overturn that, and when he led 7-6, it looked like he was going to. But there were a couple of big frames along the way, and Brecel has stood up to this pressure so well. Could have done with that going in. I'm sure Holt's going to play on, but barring a couple of snookers, it's Brecel going through. Well, that is a snooker. He should hit this off the cushion. Well, there's actually 44 in it. I can tell you, our scoreboard is wrong. It's 50 plays 6. There's 44 in it. He needs 3 snookers, Michael Holt. Of course, there's always a chance of the free ball with the last red. But it was a terrific black that Brecel potted when that cue ball was close to the side cushion. There was all sorts of pressure on him. He hasn't really shown too many signs of feeling it. Of course, he's missed here and there. He's made mistakes, but you'll get that in any match. But he hasn't wilted. He still was going for his shots. The same shots he was going for in the first frame, he was going for in the decider. This is a match that's going to live long in the memory. Certainly for both of these guys it will, for different reasons. We've got the score right now, 44 in it with 35 on. This could be going in. Well, Holt, of course, doesn't want to pop the red. But he has done. Well, he's done. I don't think either of these go, do they? So, this looks like curtains for Michael Holt. He gave it everything from 9-7 down. But it's a long way back from here. Trying to somehow double it. It's going in. Oh! Maybe it's not over yet. Well, and now he's snookered himself. Well, this is a mad game. You can understand why players go a bit nuts at times. The yellow's going in, is it? No. He thought it was. He thought it was. He was walking around thinking it had gone in. Well, at least he can smile about it, but it's going to be disappointment coming up for Holt. Well, especially now. And there's the little clenched fist. Well played, good luck, says Michael Holt to Luca Bracel. This 17-year-old from Belgium is now one win away from becoming the youngest person ever to play at the famous Crucible Theatre just down the road here in Sheffield. That is a memorable win in many ways for him. He's got to beat Mark King at the weekend. Who's to say he won't do? He seems very confident. And he's won the decider. He was 9-7 up. Holt came back to 9-all. Luca Bracel has done it. Terrific stuff. It was an entertaining match. It's a pity for Holt. He gave it everything. But it's Luca Bracel of Belgium, a name we may well be hearing about many times in the future, who has won this thriller by 10 frames to 9. Well, I think we all need a breather. We won't get much of one because the next session starts in 15 minutes. As one of the true legends of snooker, Jimmy White against Lu Chang. Chang leads 5-4, and the other match is Alfie Burden against Jack Lazowski. It's 6-3 there to Burden. They're the results then. Victories for Joe Jogia, Luca Bracel, Liang Wenbo and Cao Yupeng. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Clive Everton and Phil Yates, your commentators tonight.